Viewers, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are diving into one of the most useful string function in SAS, the SUBSTR function. Whether you are a SAS programmer, a clinical programmer, or working in statistical programming, the SUBSTR function is something you will use all the time. From extracting patient IDs to cleaning up adverse event terms to creating diverse derived variables for your SDTM or ADAM dataset, SUBSTR is essential tool in your SAS toolbox. The purpose of the SUBSTR function is to extract part of a string, but that is when the SUBSTR function is used on the right side of the equality sign. When the SUBSTR function is used on the left side of the equality sign, it can place specified characters into an existing string. The syntax of the SUBSTR function is that SUBSTR, and in brackets we have the string which is the character variable or the test string from which we want to extract the part of the string, and then the second argument for the SUBSTR is the starting position to begin the extraction, and then the third argument is length. Length is an optional argument, and if it is specified, it is the number of characters to include in the substring. If this argument is omitted, the SUBSTR function will return all the characters from the start position to the end of the string. If a length has not been previously assigned, the length of the resulting variable will be the length of the character value or the string value which we have passed as the first argument. Now let's see a few of the examples where we are using the SUBSTR function. The first example here, in this example, I'm taking a text variable which is my character string, which I will use in my SUBSTR function to extract a part of the string. So the text which I have given is the patient underscore 1234, and I'm creating an variable ID using the SUBSTR function, and I want to extract the string from position 9 to end. So because of that, I have given the starting position, that is the second argument, as 9 value, and since I want to extract this string till the end, I have not mentioned any third argument, which is the length argument. So if I use the SUBSTR in this format, the value which will be populated in ID variable in this example will be the value starting from 9th position, which is the number 1, and it will go till end, that is the string will be 1 2 3 4 5 will be populated in my ID variable. This same concept I'm showing you how we can use the same concept when in our adverse event dataset example. So now here what I have done is that I have taken my AE term as an example here to show this, and from AE term you can see that the AE term is having headache and severe separated by a hyphen. Now if we want to clean the AE term, then what we can do is we can use the SUBSTR, and accordingly that we want to read the first correct read from the A term since from the starting position 1, and we want to go till the time it encounters the hyphen. So using the index function n-1, I am giving the length here. So if you have seen my videos on the index earlier, you will know that the index function is the function which will give the position of the character value which we are finding in our uh, string passed, and here what it will do is the index function is applied on a term, and it is going to search for the position of hyphen, and when it will encounter the hyphen in our a term, it will note the position of it, and it will return a position value of hyphen. So in the length argument, what we are doing is, after we have retrieved the length position of hyphen, which will be 1 2 3 4 5 almost 11th position, I believe here. So 11 minus 1 we are doing because we want to only read the a term till the headache, and we do not want the trailing blank space also before the hyphen after the headache. So that's why what we are doing is that in length argument, we are giving the index function to get the position of hyphen minus 1, and since we want the starting position as 1, the substring is given, the function is being called in this way, and it will extract the value of headache. Similarly, in the second example where I'm using the EX dataset, here if we want to extract the values of the TRT variables or the ARM variable, if we have a combination of TRTs and ARM in one string, as shown in this example here, you can see the TRT var is having the information of the TRT01A as along with its value, which is placebo in this case. So if I want to have the coded value, which is like TRTCD, I will give the starting position and the length till it should read. Since the TRT01A is of 6 characters, I have given this length as 6 here. And for the TRT name also here, since I know that the placebo is starting from the position 9, I am just giving the starting position as 9, and I am not giving any ending position in the length argument, and it will read the TRT var string till end from starting position of 9. So in this way, the TRT CD will have the value extracted as TRT01A, and TRT NAM will have the value of placebo. Now another example for which we can use the SUBSTR is if we want to extract the middle characters. So far what we have seen is we have seen that how we are going to extract the string from starting from some position here or till the end, starting from middle till the end. But if we want to extract a string in between somewhere, how we can do it? Again, the concept is same, that we will have to mention a starting position, and using the length argument, we have to mention that how many correct length characters it should read. So in this example, in the visit variable, I am reading the text character string, and I have mentioned the starting position as 9, and I want it to read for next 6 characters. Please note that the length here mentioned is the number of characters it should read from the starting value mentioned. It is not the position of the string till it should read. So when I'm mentioning that it from text string it should read starting from position 9, it should read the next 6 characters in that string. So the length is 6 here. So in this way, the result of the SUBSTR function in this scenario will be the visit05. Showing the same, some examples of this uh, concept here is that I am using the SDTM DM data set where I'm from the U subject ID. I want to extract the study ID or the subject number. In that way, you can see that when we want to extract the study ID from U subject ID, I am reading the U subject ID from the position 1, but I'm only reading the 6 characters from position 1 here. And when I want to read the subject number here from U subject ID, I am reading from position 8 till end, because we know that U subject ID is the concatenation of your study ID or this and the subject ID, provided the subject ID is having the site ID information as well. Similarly, when you are working on SV domain, you might encounter that the visit variable is the character variable having the value such as visit 12 as shown in this example. And to create the visit num, since visit num is a numeric variable in SDTM, you want to derive the not only the number part from the visit. That can be achieved using the SUBSTR. So here we are applying the SUBSTR function on the visit variables to extract the number part of the visit. So when we apply here and we mention the starting position as 7, and since we have not mentioned the length of the string that needs to be extracted, it will read till end, and from 7 the value at which it will read will be 12. So another point to note here is that the result of the SUBSTR is always going to be a character value. So the value which is going to be extracted in this case, the value 12 will be a character value. And since visit num is a numeric variable in SDTM, we will have to convert the character value to the numeric format. So because of that, we are using the input function with the best dot format here. And using this, what we are doing is we are getting the character value as a result from our substring, which is the value 12, and then converting it to numeric format using the input function and populating that resulting numeric value of 12 in our visit num variable here. Another example which we have discussed earlier when we were talking about the purpose of the SUBSTR was that if the SUBSTR function is used on the left side of the equality sign, it will be used to replace the character strings, the character values or the character strings in any particular variable. So right now through example 3, I am trying to show the same use of SUBSTR here. So now again, the text variable which I've used as my character string here is the drug X trial. And from this drug X trial, I want to replace my fifth character, and I want to replace the fifth character as y. So what I will do here is that I will use the SUBSTR function on my left side of the equality sign. I will read my drug X trial, which is the value of text variable in my SUBSTR function. And since I want to replace the fifth character, I will mention the starting position as 5 here. And since I only want to replace the fifth character, I do not want to change anything else. So the length which I have mentioned here is 1. And on the right hand side value, I will mention the value which I want to replace in my text variable here. So here I want to replace the X value to Y. I am giving the Y on my right hand side of the equality sign. So in this way, if we use the resulting text value will become as drug Y trial. This is an example which is showing the value of uh, only one change of one characters in the input string. But if you want to change more than one characters, you can accordingly mention your length variables and even the starting position. So now let's take another example, which might seem more realistic to the statistical programmer working in clinical profile data domains. Right now I'm showing you a program, and in this program, what we want to do is we want to flag high values of systolic and diastolic blood pressure by placing an asterisk after the value. Notice that the variables SBP underscore CHK and DBP underscore CHK are both assigned a length of 4 by the length statement. The fourth position need to be there in case you want to place an asterisk sign in this position. And that is to flag the values as abnormal. So the input function places the numerals of the blood pressure in the first 3 bytes of the corresponding character value. Then if the value is above the specified limit, an asterisk is placed in the fourth position of these variables. So we are using the if then statements to check whether the BP values, the systolic and diastolic values are greater than the required normal values or not. If it is, then using the substring function, and in substring function also we are using the functionality where it is used on the left side of the equality sign. You can change or add a value to the character value, which is the first argument in substring here, and add the asterisk here in this example. So if you see now, I'm also showing the resultant new variables which we have created from the SysBP and DiaBP here. So for these last two records, you can see that since the SysBP is greater than 160, the asterisk sign is added and the new variable, which is SBP underscore CHK, is having the asterisk sign added. Same is the case for the dia BP for the last two records. Now let's discuss about the common pitfalls which any programmer might encounter while working with the SUBSTR function. The first one is that the indexing starts at 1 and not 0. Many programmers use other languages can get confused by this. So make sure that the starting position is always starts at position 1 and not 0. The second is that if starting position is greater than the length of string, the result is blank. If length exceeds or extends beyond string, the SAS extracts until the end and no error is given in the program. In replacement mode, that is the mode where we are using the substring function on the left side of the equality sign, SAS modifies the variable in place. Now let's talk about few of the interview questions that can be asked from the SUBSTR function. The first one is, how is SUBSTR different from scan? SUBSTR extracts based on the position and length, whereas the scan extracts based on the delimiters mentioned. Can substring be used to modify a string directly? Yes, as we have seen in the replacement mode, it can be done if we are using the SUBSTR function on the left side of the equality sign. What happens if the start index is greater than the string length? In that case, the result of the SUBSTR function will be a blank value. Another question which can be asked is the how do you extract the last 4 characters of a string in SAS? And if in this for this question you can mention that you can mention the length variables and then subtract the -3 value from it. So in this way, if you use the like SUBSTR and the first then the character value or the text string value, which is say variable var, and then you want to make, since you want to extract the last 4 characters, what you do is you mention the length of the var variables. So using the length function, as we have seen while applying the index function, in this scenario, we can apply the length function to the var variables, which will give the length of the complete variable string, and then we can use the -3 in front of it. So the the second argument, which will be the starting position here, in if we mention in the starting position as the length of var -3, it will read the last 4 characters of the string in SAS using the SUBSTR. Now, one important thing to know is that SAS also has a function called SUBSTRN. It works very similarly to SUBSTR, but it's designed to be safer, especially when you are working with messy or incomplete data. I have made a separate video where I explain the SUBSTR in detail and also compare it with directly with SUBSTR function. I will leave the link here on in the description section of my video. Make sure you check it out after this video. So to wrap up, the SUBSTR function is a powerful tool for both extracting and replacing portions of a string in SAS. In clinical programming, you will find yourself using it for subject IDs, visit number, treatment labels, and cleaning adverse event terms. Make sure you are comfortable with both extraction and replacement syntax, because interviewers often test this in programming interviews. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more SAS programming tutorials, especially designed for clinical and statistical programmers. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Let me know in comments if you want me to cover any specific topic.